Hello. Hi, Collie. It's Wendy Keys Turnbull, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, here with my regular Wednesday Night Live. And I'm going to be working with this bundle from our online exclusive line, Garden Meadow. And I'm going to be making this card. And what you didn't see in the picture is that my little gates open up. And there's a little basket of flowers and a hoe and a little hand rake inside there. And on the inside, I have just stamped the wheelbarrow full of flowers in basic white craft ink. And then I can stamp over it with either Every Day is a Fresh Start, or Happy Birthday, or I Can't Imagine Having a Better Friend, or even just hello if I want to write a note in there. So, okay. So as I said, I'm using the Garden Meadow set. I'm going to make this exact same card, by the way. So, this, as I said, was an online exclusive. I guess I'll leave that up there. Why not? And of course, there goes my computer already giving me a hard time. There we go. Okay, so be sure to make a comment so I can include you, hi Aunt Bev, in the prize patrol tomorrow. And let's go ahead and get started on this card. So again, this card, open the gate, and there's a little basket of flowers inside. Okay, so let me show you how I made this. First of all, I need an 8.5 by 5.5 inch card base, and my light is shining right at my face. So let me switch that out. That's a little too difficult. Okay. And the one thing I didn't grab was a bone folder. I'm going to reach and hang right over in front of you. There we go. Okay. I'm going to do a lot of die cutting. So I'm going to try and do all the die cutting at once. So what I'm going to do is I am going to stamp my garden gate, stamp my flowers, and stamp these things. And then I'll cut everything out at once. So let me just grab my pieces I need here. Here we go. Put those aside. And here we go. Okay, so I'm stamping the gate in early espresso on crumb cake. I've lost my picture again. Hi, Vicky. Hope you're feeling okay. And we're going to stamp that right down here. Close that up so I don't get my hands in it. And clean that off so I don't get it all over the place. I do have to get the picture back, otherwise I can't tell if I'm within the frame or not. I want to be able to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so that's that. Then on the green, I've already stamped that one. So I'm going to take my other little piece of green here. I'm going to stamp my other flowers. Let's see, is anything else stamped in green? Nope, everything else is stamped on the white. So I just need to stamp these flowers, and I stamped those using Mossy Meadow on a soft sea foam piece. Okay, I think I want that to be a little darker. I think I need to re-ink my Mossy Meadow. That's better. Okay. Those two are done. Let's set those aside so they're out of my way. And now on my white, I'm going to use Early Espresso to stamp my basket. There we go. And whoops, that was not good. And then I'm going to use Memento, just because that's what I have handy, to stamp my hoe and my hand rake. all I need that one for. Again, no picture again. Someday we'll have decent internet, maybe. Okay, so let's see if I've got everything that I need to cut out. I need to cut out the gate, and I need to cut out both sets of flowers, and I need to cut out the basket, the hoe, and the little rake, and I need to cut my grasses out, my trees and things. So, and that's right here. Okay, so I'm going to bring over, and everything will fit. I believe everything will fit in here. Let's see. Oh, nope. Okay, let's just go ahead and use the big one then. Maybe we can do most of them at once. These all out of my way so I can get this in the middle here. I think I need to wash my magic mat and let it straighten out again. Okay. Put these all on here all at once. For now, these first things, and this for the gate. And because my mat is a little curled, I'm gonna go ahead and tape these. And this tape might be a little too tacky. Let me just put it on my pants a little bit here and see if I can make it less tacky. So I don't want it tearing it after it's all cut out. Okay, that should take care of that. And got this right here. And I lost my picture yet again. Oh well, I guess it wasn't meant to be. Hi, Deb. Okay, and then we've got our basket. And we've got our hoe. And we've got our rake. I think that's good. Very carefully, we will put this on, push down. I hope that grass is good. I'm not sure. I'm not convinced I've got it good. Hi, Polly. How's the weather in North Carolina? It's in the 50s here, which is highly unusual for us this time of year. All right, get rid of these. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Let's make sure it doesn't do that to the one I actually did. That's good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that piece away. And then we'll get this. That one's okay. Looks good. Ooh, I almost threw away the die. I think I've already done that with one other die that I can't seem to find anywhere. Okay. And then let's put this back in the drawer with the scraps. So I basically just use scraps whenever I can. 80 degrees and rain. Well, we have the rain too, Polly, so we don't have the 80 degrees. That would be nice. Okay, now we need to cut out our landscapes. So this one, oh, I bet you I put those all back away, didn't I? Yes, I did. Okay, so this one is our mountain. You're gonna find this interesting, what I did here. We're gonna cut it out. I'll do all three of them at once. Actually, that needs to be up there. Should be 4x4. Yes, it is, okay. It needs to be up there towards the top. And then put this one here, and that one is our bushes. Put that one here. Nope, we're gonna do it that way. And the last one I'll have to do by itself. I should have pulled that out a little further, but that's okay. All right, let's cut these. And then we'll do the other sides. Okay, so you'll see that it only went through part of it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on here again. And we're going to put this over here like so. Just want it to line up with the end of the cut over there so that I can take it apart. We'll do the same thing with this one. Go the other way off of it. Actually, you know what? I can put them over each other. It's not going to hurt it. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that there. And then I'll do the third one by itself. Okay. Oh, 60 degrees and rainy. Okay, so it's not that different than ours. A little bit warmer. Okay. So you'll see that that just gave me that. Whoops, I don't want that to be in there. And this gives me this. Okay, so there's those. Put these back over here for now. Just get them out of the way. That one goes there. So there were so many dies that in order to know where I could fit them all in, I had to trace around them on the magnet so that I can see where to put each one back. And last but not least, we're going to do this, and this is our grass at the bottom. You know, I'm going to do this a little bit different, I think, than what I did before. Do it half and half. Don't really want it to be... There we go. I don't really want it to have the dip in the middle of it like it does on my card. I'd like the grass to show behind the gate. So let's see if this works. And then we're going to put this one right here. Ooh, that's going to go really close to cut. I cut it too low. Okay, I got to do that again, guys, because it's important that I have it a certain height. I don't know what I was thinking. That one's not wide enough. Let me get this one. That one's that big enough. Not quite. Let's see here. Almost wide enough. It's not deep enough, I think. If I remember right. It was just a little bit too short. We're going to use it anyhow. Okay, I'm going to just cut it down here. Sorry about that. It's only, I think, 1/8 of an inch shorter than the other one. Okay, let's try this again. So we're going to do it. Let me do it this way. I'm going to put this right up to the top. Oops. Sure would be nice to see what I'm doing on here. I'll reset it one more time. Okay, then I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to do this on the other half. Yeah, why not like that? That's not going to matter so much. It's going to be behind the gate and the flowers. So if you're watching and you haven't said anything, be sure to say hi so I can include you in my prize patrol. Okay, so there's our grass for this one. All right, that's cut. Everything is cut now. All right, so let's go ahead and assemble. Get this out of my way, over here. Okay, let's get rid of this, and we'll get rid of, nope, that I'm keeping. That I'm keeping. I'm keeping this, I'm getting rid of. Okay. Get that up there. Okay, card front. First thing I'm going to do is, I didn't like it to be so dark a blue, so I took craft white and a sponge wedge. I'm just gonna put some of this, and my white was very, very dry. Still isn't much. I did add to it. I'm gonna have to add some more. This stuff gets, this craft white re-inker gets so thick. Okay, see, I don't think it absorbs in, soaks in very well. And I have this, one of my Cricut tools that I'm going to spread it around with. Oh, I see that my sponge part is coming right off. Everything's all dried out. And this is a fairly new one. Okay, and I'm just going to wipe the tool off. This, I only use this for adding re-inker. I don't use it on my Cricut. Oops! I think it just fell in the garbage. I don't want to lose that. Sorry, guys. Oh no, I see it down there on the floor. Okay. All right, let's try this again. Okay. That's better. All right. So I'm just going to spread it around here. I want it to go off the edge too. I don't want to look like I just added some white in the middle. So let's see what we can do here. Making everything shake. I'm going to use that again after I put my sun on in the corner. Okay, that's good enough for now. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put on our little hill in the background. I'm probably going to run out of tape. If I do, I'm going to switch to glue. Did you guys see that? Oh, the Stamp and Seal and the Stamp and Seal Plus refills are both out of stock, unorderable at the moment. And I have been, the Plus is my favorite, as you know, and I've been out of it for a couple of weeks. And it's not going to be back in stock till at least January 8th. Before, last week it said December 20 something. Okay, this is also my frame, my mat, so I'm going to leave a little space between the bottom and the sides. There we go. And then this one's going on next. But this one, I'm going to pop off the page, so I'm going to use, they're here somewhere, there they are. I'm going to use strips, foam strips. And I'm going to put one up here at the top, trying to avoid the little, ouch, my hands are in horrible shape. That was very painful just to tear that little bit. I don't want to mess up these little pieces that can pop out. So I'm trying to avoid them as best I can with the strips of foam. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for sharing, Cheryl. All right, I'm going to use my sticky scissors, my scissors for adhesives and sticky stuff. So I'm not trying to tear it with these poor arthritic hands. Okay, put that back and use whole strips for the rest of it. Holiday was okay, Cheryl. How was yours? Probably about the same as mine. I was glad to have it over with. I've already taken all my Christmas stuff down. It just wasn't a real Christmassy Christmas this year. Okay, so this one goes on next. I think I have a little piece of foam hanging over the outer edge of this. I'll have to check before I put it on. Okay, let's see here. Yep, just a little bit here because it stretched when I tore it. There's a little piece up there too, but we'll pretend we don't see that. We're going to line up the sides and the bottom of this with the sides and the bottom. So this is Old Olive. We're going to line it up with the sides and the bottom of the Mossy Meadow one. So we've got our hill, we've got our bushes, And next comes our grass. And you'll see on the card that I did not pop the grass because I did pop this. So we're going to glue this on because I don't want to fight with the tape runner. I'm going to go ahead and leave the grass pieces loose at the top. Okay, there's our grass. Now, the next thing I have to do is I need to color in my flowers. Oops, now I've got sticky hands. Okay, let me get these out of the way. Okay, so I am using, for the basket, I am using light pecan pie stamping blends. Get my handle here. And over to this side, the handle coming down. And I'm gonna, I kind of want it to look like it's a little thatched. I'm gonna highlight those little marks there and make the inside of the handle a little darker. That was messy. Oh well. And we're going to use the light granny apple green on the leaves. And while I've got this out, I'm going to go ahead and do the leaves on the other flowers that I stamped on the soft sea foam. This is a beautiful set. If you haven't had a chance to look at it yet, to check it out. It's an online exclusive, so it's available right now. When I'm all done here, I'm going to show you some, I cannot show you the inside of the new mini catalog or the celebration, but I can show you items that I have made with the mini catalog and the celebration. So I will show you some cards. I'll show you the cards for next month's card class, and I'll show you another card that I made as a swap for a group function. Hi, Collie. Oh, you watched Die Hard. And you knew that there was a guy in there from Bloomfield? Gary Roberts. He's the truck driver. His name, oh, I can't remember what his name is in the movie, darn it. But he's from Bloomfield. He was one of my brother's best friends in high school. He graduated in 1972, and he is in Die Hard. He has a decidedly German name, of course, in the movie. I want to say Franz, but I'm not sure that that's right. I don't think that's right, actually. And these, for the flowers, I'm using Daffodil Delight, light and dark. I'm just putting a little dark in the centers. Just, sometimes flowers are lighter in the center. Usually, sometimes they're darker in the center, but I did it darker. Okay, so there's that one, and I totally forgot what I said I was going to do with these, so I will do that now, and I will also do these. Okay, so I want to put, let's go with the green first. So this is, again, Granny Apple Green, light Granny Apple Green. Oops, wrong side. We're going to do our leaves and the stem. I'm reading what you wrote, Debbie. Cool. Yeah, Deb, it was melancholy here too because of part of the family. Well, you know what's going on. So we were missing part of our family. So it was quite melancholy. We did have Doug's nephew was in from Arizona, and I haven't seen him in over 20 years. And he had his wife and his 3 kids with him, who I, of course, have never seen. So that was kind of cool. That was kind of neat. They stayed for a couple of days and left on Christmas Eve to go down to Pennsylvania to see Doug's sister, their mother, Michael's mother. So that was nice, but it was still rough, missing the part of the family that wasn't here. So that's why I was anxious for Christmas to be over with. And this really, I love Christmas, but this was the first year that it was just too stressful. I just needed it to be over with. So, okay, so those flowers are done. Now I'm using Highland Heather on these flowers. Just seemed the right thing to do. Anybody know what kind of flower this is? I know, but I can't remember. Okay. You guys were melancholy too, Vic, because of you being stuck in bed with your broken ankle, you think? All right, and then the spade or hoe or whatever you want to call this thing. And a little bit right there. And then I'm going to do the handles in light pecan. Sorry, my hand's in your way, but it's not much interest in just coloring handles. Okay, so here we go. So now, oh, before I do that though, I should have done this before I even assembled those. We're going to put our sun up here. All this is a piece of Post-it, and it's not a Post-it note. It's this that is I got it from Heffy Doodle, but it's Post-it. It's all sticky. It's all stick-em on the back. It's not just at the top or the bottom. And what I'm going to do is whoops, that fell down. I'm going to put it right here. Make sure that it's sealed good and tight all the way around where you're going to be rubbing. And then I'm going to use my mini blending brushes, and I'm going to use Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, and Pumpkin Pie. And I'm going to start with Lemon Lolly because that's the lightest color. And I'm just going to put that all over. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the Daffodil Delight. And because it's darker, I don't need to clean in between. And I'm just going to do part of it in Daffodil Delight. All right, now I'll clean. Probably should have, oh, I purposely got this piece of paper out so I wouldn't mess up my grid paper. Oh well, too late now. It's already messed up. I may use it again next week, so expect to see that yellow spot there. And then finally the pumpkin pie. So I'll put a little heat in it. Put that. Just putting a little in there. That's, if you hear it, you hear my button on my shirt rubbing against the glass thing that I'm using. And then you just peel that off, and there you have your sun. And then, let me just make sure it's dry. I'm going to go over that with some more craft white ink because I really don't want it to be just as bright as can be like that. I want it to be a hazy day kind of thing. There we go. Seems like the white had a lot more on it this time. There we go. Okay. Now, we're going to go ahead. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take the gate. Well, before I do that, let's put some strips on this. I'm going to put, even before I do that, sorry about that. I am going to make a score line right down here in between the post and the gate where the little hinges are. So I'm just going to put it in here, make sure it lines up. I would normally do it against the bottom, but you won't be able to see it if I do it against the bottom. So, and then we're going to flip it around and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay. So on this gate, this is the bottom because you see little pieces of grass coming up it. And I didn't do this on the other one, but I think I'll do it on this one. Just put a little green over that. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to put this right up against the fold line. And again, I'm going to cut it off because I don't want to hurt my hands anymore than they already are. No heat, oh my gosh. Ugh. Oh my goodness, no wonder. That's ridiculous. Okay. And then, whoops, I know that Joy loves Christmas. I know that she would play Christmas music all year round. Okay, now I'm going to cut my gate in half. Oops, not with those scissors, my good ones. Right down the middle. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up here where I think I want it. I like that. I like that with the grass coming up behind it. And then I'm going to figure out that I want this to be right behind it. So we're going to take the gate back out. This is going to go right here. So let's put a little bit of glue. Whoa, that's a lot of bit of glue. Okay. Put that right there. And then I might as well just use glue on these because it's on my finger. And I'm going to put one here. I'm going to do it a little bit different than I did on the other one because this will be completely covered. I'm going to put one on the other side, but my hands are no longer, the glue on my hands is no longer sticky, so let's use some new stuff. We'll put that here, like so. Whoops, came right up with my finger. All right. Okay, let me get this rubbed off on my hand here. It's a good thing it was in the 50s though, huh, Debbie? Okay, so now it's time. I'm just going to bend this a little bit so that it'll bend without taking my foam off. We're going to put this one here, and before I put it down, I'm going to make sure that I've got it in the place I really truly want it. That would be there. All right, and then we're going to take the foam off the other part, and we're going to line that up so the gate is completely closed and there's nothing showing. Okay, and I forgot to fold that one though. There we go. Okay, so when you open it, you're going to see a little basket and the little garden tools. There we go, and now we have to put our flowers on. I have to decide which side is getting what. Could have done more flowers, more of that flower. Doesn't really matter where I put them. Put this here then. Let's put this one over here. Yep, okay. And I am going to use mini dimensionals for that. And they're around here somewhere. There they are. Whoops. Pulled my strips off. Let me put those back on and get them out of the way. Okay. All right, so we're just going to use 2 mini dimensionals on this one. And if I overlap it, I'm going to overlap it a little bit over the gate post, and I think it's going to help to hold the gate post down. Okay, so that when it gets opened, it doesn't come off. And then we're going to put some more over here. See that I stamped it once on the back. Decided that I didn't like it in black. Okay. Use a few on this one. There we go. Let's take those off. Okay, and that's going to go right here. For those of you who don't know what's going on, Vicky twisted her ankle and broke it in 2 places last weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before. And she has to have surgery. So that's what all this talk is about in my notes here. She was actually house sitting for me when it happened, but she wasn't at my house. She had stopped at her house, and I took her to the surgeon, and boy, did she do some damage, huh, Vic? But, okay, so there we have our card, but now we're going to put Thinking of You in the upper corner. And I could put something else here. Originally, I was going to put, where did that stamp set go? There it is. Originally, I was going to put on the outside, every day is a fresh start, and then on the inside, put Thinking of You, thinking this would be a good card for somebody like Vicky, who fell down and hurt herself and is in bed trying to get healthy and trying to get ready for surgery. So something like that. I was going to put that on the outside and then Thinking of You on the inside. But then I thought that's a pretty specific card then. So I thought, well, I'll just do Thinking of You on the outside, and then we can put whatever we want on the inside. Hi, Susie. Susie, if you look at the comments above, you'll see that we all had Your Kind of Christmas. So not all of us, but a lot of us had Your Kind of Christmas, wanting it to be over with. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do then is I'm going to use the white, and I'm going to put the wheelbarrow on the inside. And I think I'll finish this one with you guys. So I'll put a statement, a sentiment on the inside. All right, so we're going to put our wheelbarrow here. I tried stamping off first, but it wasn't dark enough. Oh, now I've got a little piece of something in the middle of my stamp set. My ink pad, I mean. There we go. Okay, and let's put, we could put Happy Birthday. Hello. I'm going to put, I can't imagine having a better friend. I'm going to go ahead and put it, no, I'm going to put it on this one. Put this away because it's clean. And I am going to stamp it in Mossy Meadow, which needs to be re-inked, so I probably shouldn't be stamping it in Mossy Meadow, but I'll just make sure it gets good and inked up here. There we go. Oh, I like that a lot. And then, of course, all I will do is put my stamp on the back of it. Now, I'm not going to close this because that Whisper White, or that Basic White ink has to dry, being the craft ink. I could use the heat gun on it, but I'm just going to go ahead and leave it open. And now, let me just clean these real quick because that craft ink has got to be cleaned off of there before it's stuck there permanently. There we go. I think that's all done. Make sure I got all the brown off of this one. We'll get the green off of this one, and then I will go and clean this cleaner. Oh, thanks, Susie. These are Lily and Fox, which are online, and they're really inexpensive, like $2.99 for a set. But you can see also, I just put them on, I think, Christmas Eve, and they're already wearing from the top. But the color streak that I use usually lift at the bottom, so I'm not minding that they're wearing at the top. Okay, more like real nail polish. Okay, I have lost the picture again. Let me adjust this one more time. It stayed on for a good long time that time. Okay, so now let me show you, because as I said, I cannot show you the inside of the new catalog or the inside of the celebration, but I can show you projects that I have made with items for from the new catalog. So that is what I'm going to show you, because I did send email to everybody who attends my classes regularly to show them, but the email just doesn't, the pictures on email just don't do it justice. So this is my least favorite of the 3 cards, and these are 5 cards. These are all masculine birthday cards, because so many people lack masculine birthday cards. I know, Bev, that you have talked about needing them before. So Yes, and you'll be getting the new catalogs at the card class next month. Oh, there it goes again. Darn picture. Why does my internet have to be like this? Okay, so today is all about yo, happy birthday, and sending love and big hugs. I can't remember what the name of this stamp set is that's in the background, but see if you can see. Let me stand up so I can make sure that you guys are seeing, so you see the different things that are in the background. There you go. Okay, there's one. This one is called Doggone something. It's a one big stamp. I love this. And then what I did, you see how the circle is popped, but it's lined up so that you can see that I cut another piece out of the exact same spot and then just colored in one dog and lined it up. You're the best. Happy birthday. Oh, see, when I take a picture of them to put online, I tape them shut. So, okay, that's number 2. Did I show you the inside of this one? I don't think I did. The inside of, oh yes, I did. Sending love and big hugs. Okay, number 3, happy birthday. And these are postage stamp dies. Sending you smiles for every moment of your special day. Number 4, this is very similar to another one that we have had in the past, but it's a little different. Have a rock and roll birthday. It's a giant pick, guitar pick, and the guitar. And this is new paper, designer series paper in the background, and then these are little blingies that come with it. You're a rock star with the drumsticks. Okay, this is our technique. You're the most awesome. Ta-da! Happy birthday. So that's the technique we'll be doing, or the fancy fold we'll be doing. And these bling are little pieces of cork. They're pretty cool, and they are actually cork. They're not maybe just look like cork. So those are the 5 cards we're doing next month. But now this is this card I have just made 14 of. For a swap that I'm taking part in. You mean so much to so many, and holding you close in my heart. So kind of a sympathy or a hang in there kind of card. So that's what I've got to show you that I've been working on with the new mini. You're going to love this mini, and I also love the celebration. There were a few things in the celebration that I liked. A lot of times I don't find a lot in the celebration that I like, but this time I found quite a few things. So I'll have some good giveaways for the next few months as I continue to earn free product. And your signal keeps dropping, Cheryl? Huh. Yeah, watch it later tonight. So I took a nap and now I'm perky. That's okay, Deb. I like that. I like somebody perky on here. So, okay. So if I have 10 people comment, 10 different people comment by tomorrow night at 7:30, I will be drawing a winner to win something, maybe something from the new mini or the new SAB. We'll have to wait and see. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Polly, 6, 7. I think we've got 7 people commenting right now, so we just need 3 more people. So, okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will be back again next week with something else. Have a great week. Enjoy your New Year's, and happy stamping. Bye, guys.